You're
Yeah,
what up, man?
that's good.
It's been a minute. We missed a week, so to all of our adoring fans, apologies.
We have Taimur and I have traded places in during that time.
Yeah,
Taimur's in New York, I'm in Florida, so we're
yeah,
playing a little switcheroo for now, but
facts.
that'll probably change, or that will change soon.
I mean, on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Um, so give me the overview of the trip. I know we hung out
hmm
when you and your girlfriend first got to the city. So
Yeah, so basically, she was visiting for a work like thing. It was her office's like return to office, but it's not mandatory, so she gets to stay remote. But was like basically her company paid for her to come visit New York and like hotel. Though we didn't need to use the hotel, they were like, "Yeah, we just want you to come meet people." So she came in for like basically a week. Yeah, a week. She was there for 7 days, and we just like adventured. Like we went around the city a bunch and just ate at like amazing fucking restaurants.
thoughts? Yeah,
Um,
how is that omakase spot? I want to hear about the omakase spot.
Mad good, bro. Like on a different level. It's a place that Schultz girl. So Andrew Schultz's girlfriend
Toast.
has like a food Instagram called Blistered Peppers.
What was the name of the restaurant again?
It's called Omakase by I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Maaser Maaser. I don't know if I'm
Hmm.
pronouncing that right, but it was mad good. 17 course, like best omakase I've ever had.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
Um,
all the omakase spots, like they all are like in a different tier.
yeah, I
But
mean
like
in New
you
York,
just
yeah.
try mad things and like they all
hmm
like I know I went to one that was like they shipped the fish from Japan and then like it gets there and apparently the best like sushi is actually frozen fish. Like even like the highest grade tuna is like frozen. Um so yeah. And that's a hack too. People like if you want to make sashimi and sushi at home, you just buy a decent amount and then you like keep it frozen. And I mean, you're getting sushi grade quality. So,
hmm
yeah.
Dude, it was so good. And then we after
What was
that,
the best piece?
my favorite was the last one. It was like an eel.
Yeah,
But
eel's mad
honestly,
good.
they were all amazing. Like the salmon
Mm,
there was like the softest salmon I've ever had. The tuna was amazing. Like it
facts.
was so good. Like definitely a repeat. You should go. Besides that, we went to Raoul's the first night she was here. Unreal steak. Like that's what they're famous for.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
steak and
The
the
sauce,
burger.
how far is that sauce?
Have you been before?
No, no, but I know
So
it's the
good. It's like a
steak, it's the burger, and it's the
peppercorn,
sauce. Yeah,
like a
yeah. I've
mushroom
had that
peppercorn
sauce
sauce.
before, but I heard theirs is like through the roof.
Yeah, dude, and it was just a vibe. Like everything about it, the atmosphere of the restaurant just felt it felt so New York.
Calming.
It
Yeah,
just felt so New York.
yeah.
And then we went to an Italian restaurant called Misi
Hmm.
in
The bird.
in Williamsburg. Really good as well. Like just mad good Italian food. They have this like whipped ricotta crostini, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just I mean like it's all over Instagram and shit. Like I'm sure you've
Sure,
seen
sure.
pictures of it, but
I
it's
heard it's
so
over.
good.
I heard it's good, but like not. I don't know, like a little overhyped, not fully worth the money. But I heard it is very good.
So
But that's like the caveat I've heard.
I would say it's overhyped in terms of how difficult it is to get a reservation, but I don't think the price point
Mm,
is actually. I thought it was
that
way
bad.
more. I thought it was going to be more expensive than it was, and it actually wasn't that
You're
bad.
just desensitized.
No, I thought it was going to be more expensive than it was because I mean, yeah, I guess Raoul's desensitized me, but
But
like Raoul's was way more expensive than like
yeah, yeah.
that place.
And it's always the wine and whatever that like
But
actually
we
gets you.
like
Yeah.
we ate at Misi like two pastas, um, maybe
I'm saying if you get a
three
bottle of wine, it's
pastas.
like
Yeah, we did
almost
glasses
double the
each,
bill. Yeah.
so that's
Mm,
probably why. And at Raoul's, we
mm,
got a glass.
mm,
Sorry, bottle.
mm.
And then yeah, we did the omakase place, and then her company like basically let her like expensed her hotel, so she's like, "Fuck it, we're going to
Sure.
the Standard." So we did a night at the
Yeah, yeah.
Standard, the Highline Standard. Fire.
Did you have a river view?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. We're on
yeah,
the
yeah. That's elite.
15th floor, I think.
Fuck. No
What
Levain
else?
sound.
Dude, no, it was popping. Like we could hear it because apparently, so we
Really?
stayed there.
Wow.
We stayed there Wednesday night, and apparently, recently they just like reopened on Wednesday nights, so it was like kind
Mm.
of popping, but
Mm.
wasn't a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm used to, growing up in New
Yeah. Yeah.
York, noise doesn't
Miami, New
really
York. Yeah.
bother me.
Yeah. Sweet.
And then I'm trying to think if there was, and we went to
Mm.
Piccola Cucina, mad good.
Kachina, yeah. What'd she think? She like it?
She didn't love it, to be honest. She thought it
Really?
was like a
What'd
little
you guys get?
overhyped. I was pretty shocked, honestly, but
What did you guys get?
we went twice. The first time,
Oh, really?
yeah. The
Did you
second
get
time,
the langoustine pasta?
no. Is that what it's like? That's what's
Bro,
elite.
that's my favorite pasta there.
Okay, I got one the first time
The boar one.
there was like this
Oh,
gnocchi
okay.
special, and the
Mm.
second time I got the first pasta is macaroni alla norma, mad good. It's like a tomato based pasta, mad good.
Mm.
But yeah,
Mm.
she didn't love it.
I
But
wonder if you didn't. There's some things on there that like don't
I'm
hit as hard, but
yeah, I'm convinced she didn't order the right stuff.
yeah.
I refuse to
Um,
accept that she didn't like it because
nah,
it's mad
you
good.
got it a third time. So,
Dead ass.
yeah.
So yeah, that was really
Sweet.
it. We just hung out a bunch, and she wanted to stay extra, but went back because it's her brother's birthday. But we
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
great time. And then yesterday was like Friday was a gorgeous day in New York.
yeah, yeah. It was
And like
beautiful down here.
went to I actually went to Elsewhere on Friday night because Sean had an extra ticket to a show,
Oh, really?
a artist that he's trying to sign. So yeah, we just went, and
What do
then
you think?
it was a cool vibe.
Is it
Yeah,
like an EDM? Was it like an EDM
no, it was
DJ or no?
Latin night, so it was like two female
Ah,
reggaeton artists. It was really good.
reggaeton.
Um, and then
That's
we
cool.
like got burritos in Williamsburg, and then went to his crib and chilled.
Bye.
And that's really it.
Yeah,
I've been continuing to read this sci-fi series. I'm
yeah,
on
that series. Yeah.
book 3 now, and it's so satisfying. Like I haven't been dissatisfied by fiction in such a long time.
Mm.
So, and it's like deep, like sort of. It's like very
Yeah, it's
satisfying
like
to
philosophical
people.
and
Like yeah, it's philosophical. It's like things people talk about in science. Um, and it's been good. It's been getting me back into
it's
reading.
a Chinese author, right?
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name.
Yeah,
Cixin, probably Chishin, something like that. Liu,
yeah,
probably not. I don't know. I probably fucked it up, but
yeah.
yeah, Chinese
The
author.
I'm curious. I wonder how many like major creative works like have made it, or at least modern creative works have made it out of, I don't know, the East here. Like, there's obviously like some classic Russian writing, some classic Chinese writing, but like modern, I feel like that's like one of the few that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, I assume there
Murakami,
is like, yeah. I mean,
Japan, not
I would
China,
just,
but
I would just exclude Japan in terms of. I mean, obviously it is the East, but it's also like so westernized. But
mhm.
yeah, I wonder if it's just like things haven't made it out of China, or uh, there is a lack of creative work there. I'm really curious.
Probably the former. I mean, they have like 3 billion people or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
However many billion, they have a 1 point whatever billion people. There's probably
yeah.
a lot of creative people, but
But I wonder, like, I wonder if that is like how prized and how like rewarded that is. Like, I know they're like,
mm,
I forget what the TikTok's called there, but um, like same company, but like apparently they don't even like promote like dancing or creative things. It's all like STEM
engineering,
based
STEM
things, and
shit.
yeah, yeah. Everything else gets like basically like pushed down in the ranking. So I'm curious, like, if the arts even have, you know, at what level it's pushed there. But yeah, I'm sure
They have a good music
that's
scene.
gonna. Fuck.
There's a few
Is
Chinese
that gonna
bands I'm
be?
into.
That should be your target market too.
Maybe
You gotta save Shanghai first.
chill. Shit is
Um,
wild, man. I feel like I'm like you remember at the beginning of COVID. I don't know if you were the same way, but you remember me. Like I was super like Twitter every day, reading the news, like trying to
yeah,
track
yeah.
it. After a while,
I
just
mean,
got
we were like,
fatigue.
it was that we went for like food at the shawarma place, and
Shawarma mania, yeah.
we're like, this is like, we're like, damn, shit is about to go down, and we're like, this is the last, this might be the last time we like see each
Chill in
other
a
for a minute,
while.
and it literally was.
Yeah.
It literally was like the next day. Like I think I stopped going to work, and then it was just like, yeah,
Was that the same day we got kulfi, the Pakistani ice cream? Or that was
I think that was a
no.
different day. That was this summer,
Yeah, that was
or
twenty
that was
twenty one
recent.
summer. What did we do that day? We got halal?
I think we got red cart.
Yeah, we got red cart. Did we walk from my crib to red
We
cart?
walked like OD, yeah.
And then we walked back. Yeah,
Yeah, or we walked close, something like that, yeah.
damn. But bro, the shit
That
is
was
the
when we came up with the bet. The meditating
yeah,
bet.
that was a good bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, this that thread that I've already talked about um the punk but
The punk, yeah.
6529 about the shortness of life, and then you know that Twitter account Sahil Bloom.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who he is actually, to tell you the truth. I only know him through
He's like
Twitter.
he went to he like played baseball at Stanford, and then he did like some like random things, and he worked at like I think like a VCP shop, and now he like is starting his own.
Mhm.
But
He has a pretty
yeah,
good Twitter though.
yeah, yeah,
And he had one thread recently again that was like, you know, harsh truths, blah blah blah. You know, like trendy thread. But again, one of them was like, you're only going to see all of your loved ones, like each of them, a handful of times, which may or may not be true, but is directionally true. Like the amount of time you spend with the people you
sure,
love is like way less. And I was thinking about like friends, like in the last year, like after you left Miami, like I've seen you like fewer than 10 times, which is
sure.
nuts.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
I
And I
mean
was
like in person, like obviously
in
like
person. Yeah, in person.
FaceTime,
We
whatever.
talk
Like
and shit.
yeah, yeah. No, it's nuts. It's nuts. And there's definitely like as much as I'm a fan of like remote work, I think I don't know. I think in the office is there's something that is
Hmm.
lost with going remote that I don't know. I maybe I'm a boomer or something, but like I really
Hmm.
do like at least a few days in the office, like 1, 3 days. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I think there is something magical about being in person, whether
for
it's work
sure.
or friendship
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'm going on Thursday to the Gemini office.
Yeah,
A few
yeah,
people who actually live in Miami are coming into New York, so
coming
we're
to
like
town.
coordinating to go to the office on Thursday. But like,
Cool.
I mean, my girlfriend went into her office this past week, and she was like, "I'm having
It's
so much
wild. Yeah,
fun, but I didn't get anything done. Like, it's literally
yeah,
just
yeah.
socializing." I'm
But
like, I'm
honestly,
down.
like there's so much that like to say not getting anything done, I think is an understatement. I think like being connected with your team and like being chill
Hmm.
with people on your team, I think is pays like infinite dividends. But yeah, in terms of actual output, yeah, it's probably a lot lower.
Yeah, that's why we should be in the same city to do the podcast, bro.
Facts.
But your ass wants to move to Miami now.
Who knows? There's so many unknowns. But I don't know. Quality of life in both places, there are big trade offs for both. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? The way I've been thinking about it recently, and I think I might have said this already, but how many more years will so many of our friends live in the same city? You know, maybe a long time. I don't know. Maybe a long time, but maybe not that much.
I mean, I also think that assumes that friendship is static too. Like that won't meet new
True. Yeah,
people.
you'll
Like
meet new
I don't know.
people
Like
for
there's
sure.
people like I don't know that have come into our life in the last like year,
Hmm.
2 years that are like homies. Like I don't know. Like Pedro is an
Henry.
example. I wasn't really close to Henry. Like and now
Hmm.
like yeah like homie.
No, definitely. I agree with that as well. But so many,
But I
at
agree.
least of
I,
my like college friends that I
yeah.
still want to be friends with and like
No,
still
no. Yeah. Yeah.
like are front and center are like all in New York. And I'm just like, fuck, like I want to be here for that and to like deepen those relationships and develop them because also a lot of them like are doing music and
Music.
sort
Yeah.
of creative shit
Hmm.
and are just like great people. So I'm like, fuck, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But then I also think about like the lifestyle. I was talking about this with Brandon the other day and I was like kind of bitching to him like, dude, the lifestyle in Miami is so much better. And he's like, dog, like no one moves to New York for the lifestyle. Like meaning and I think specifically what he means is like physical quality of life. Like you're
Sure.
not
Sure.
getting sunlight, the
It's the
apartments are
social aspect. Yeah.
ass, like you can't afford anything. But it's the social aspect, it's the cultural aspect.
Sure.
So
I just feel like there's a world where both can exist. Like I don't know. I feel
yeah.
like someone's got. I mean, it just like it sucks that everyone wants to be in New York in the warmer seasons. Everyone wants to be in Florida for the colder seasons. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it could be. It's
Some configuration where
yeah.
like
There's some configuration that works.
you pay rent and get two apartments.
I don't know. I was thinking about. I feel like it could make sense. Like buy a small place in Miami, chill, like nothing crazy apartment in Brickell, and
Mhm.
then like sublease for like it could even be in like Bumble, like deep beat Brooklyn or Queens or something, even like out in like wherever in Queens, like
Bushwick or some shit.
yeah, and just do like a 6 month sublease or something like that. I think could work out extremely well, and like
Yeah,
it'd be net, especially with taxes. It would come out net
yeah.
positive.
The only thing is that if you have shit that you need, like a lot of shit,
For
like
sure.
I'm thinking for me, like all my instruments and shit,
For
like
music, I think is yeah, but
there are ways
not
around
music.
it for sure, but not music,
Yeah,
a lot easier.
not music. I mean, like worked in Miami. Like all we need, like
Computer, internet access.
suitcase worth of
Yeah,
clothes,
internet
computer.
access.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Yo, I think I could probably declare residency in Miami after the last year. I wonder if there's a way
yeah. I mean, you have to just like prove. You have to have like I think documents that
because I
say
can prove my
you're living there.
flights. Like, I can prove my flights
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
was there the whole time.
You should look it up. I'm sure you can
Yeah,
do it. I know it's just like I mean, last year you probably spent more than 6 months
I
there. I
spent way
just don't
more than
know.
6 months. I spent way
Yeah,
more than 6 months.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what the process is. I'm sure you can
Hmm.
look it up. Maybe
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Hmm. So that's I'm thinking about that,
yeah,
and then do half and half. I don't know, man. Like it's the paradox of choice. Like remote work opens up a world for us, but then it's like fuck. Because
sure,
I was also just watching this TV show with my family about like, and I wanted to ask you about this too. But it's like takes place in Japan, and I'm like, fuck. Like, yes, I'm young still, but like, one, don't know how much time you have left. Two, like,
sure,
there's so many experiences I want to have that like I think about Tim Ferriss. Like, you need to like really, I don't know. I feel like to really get the most out of life in terms of like experiencing living in different places and traveling, it like really needs to be deliberate about how you like plan it.
sure,
And
sure.
I'm just like,
I don't
yo,
think
like,
many lifestyles lead to paths where you get all this exposure unless you're very intentional.
and I'm thinking like, fuck, like, I want to do like 6 months to a year in Japan, like just experience the
Sure,
life there.
sure.
Obviously, like, test run it first, but maybe even not because that flight is brolic. Maybe just send it. Um,
Do it. I mean, honestly, like, I think the move is to like first create some income stream that is not tied to
like
a day
work.
to day
Yeah.
job is probably ideal. Like, I mean, I feel
Hmm.
like some sort of remote friendly business. I feel like that is like the
Hmm.
first key that
Yeah.
unlocks everything else. Because once that's going, like it doesn't even have to be crazy. I mean, like as long as it's like
Yeah.
a modest income, especially if you
Hmm.
like, I don't know, depends where you want to travel to.
Hmm.
I feel like that opens so many doors. Like,
Yeah. I was thinking about that a lot recently. There's this, recently meaning like the last week, like how it's just clicked recently, how the internet just opened so much possibility. And like you doing a blog was very like eye opening. And then like there's this YouTuber who's actually this British Pakistani guy who has videos about like why everyone should have a personal website, start a blog,
mm-hmm,
blah blah blah. And
mm-hmm,
today, like I actually bought the domain name, I set up the website on Ghost, um,
facts.
and I have like the website, and now I'm just
Did you do it through Ghost or did you like?
yeah, I did it
Did
through
you
Ghost.
do it? Yeah,
Yeah, why do you recommend a different way?
I do it without. I do it. I self host it,
You
and it's a lot
self-host it?
cheaper.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? How
I
much?
can show you how to do it. It's cheaper and it's a trade off. It's a lot more work up. Not a lot more work. It's more work up front, but
But how
I
much
like
is
self
how
host.
much do you save? Because it's like $9 a month.
So it ends up being $5 a month. But
Okay.
the thing is, like, I view it. I don't know. I the velocity thing of like root access. I think about extremely often, and I think
Yeah,
like self hosting is like
you get way more like
the only way to get root access to things. Um,
okay.
but there are a lot of trade offs. I don't know if it is the best decision, especially it's not like controversial
What do you
information or
gain?
like anything.
What do you gain by having
Root,
self-hosting?
I think it's just purely root access. Like
So you can design it any way you want. You can't
it's more of
ever get
just
like
if
kicked off a platform.
yeah, yeah, you just can't be like deep. I mean, what like let's say the server like I hosted on DigitalOcean. Like let's say DigitalOcean's like you know what we're taking down your site. Great, go on AWS, or I can like spin up my own server. Like literally buy a server. Like
Hmm.
probably would do many things before that, but like yeah, I don't know. That's what I think is powerful about it. Um, I don't know. We can talk about it more, like
Hmm.
especially offline, because I don't think the details are that interesting. But
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I also like Substack. I think Substack's good, but it's once again like
Yeah, but it's not really a
if you
website as
want,
much as it is just like a writing, like publishing
yeah, it's just
service.
publish, yeah.
Substack is cool, but I imagine like my website's going to be more than just blog posts. Like
Sure.
down the line when I release music, like interaction, all types of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I like having a website. I mean, I have a lot to do with it right now, but I'm sort of like brainstorming ideas for blogs I'm going to write and shit.
sure.
Um,
But
but yeah, to your
I do
idea
think
of
that is an interesting topic, though. Is just like root, like I think it is a broader conversation or idea of like like the broader idea of self-hosting versus like using a platform, and I think like I don't know. I think that's the whole argument behind crypto too, right? It's like, are you the root owner, and like, can someone else basically, shut things off, whether it's your audience, your like means of making money, whatever it
Mhm.
is. Like, I don't know. That's my trade-off. And I think it's one of those things too that's like not important 99.99999% of the time, but like
But on
that
the
point oh
extremes,
one
yeah.
percent of the time you need it, like it is, there's nothing more important than
Hmm.
that. So that's how I think about it. But
No, I think
it
it's a good
definitely is a
argument.
big
So,
trade-off.
did you have to like completely design your own front end though, like actually write the
No,
code?
not 90%, like 99% of it is boilerplate. And then like, uh, we'll talk about it. I'll show you. It's like pretty straightforward. And I can tell you how to set it up. And then I have a whole blog post of how to like optimize it so that like,
Hmm.
basically I'm running on like a super micro server, and there's ways to configure it where like it can handle like pretty much any amount of traffic.
Hmm.
So yeah,
But yeah, I haven't done anything with it yet, so I'm not like
yeah, yeah,
there's no
fine,
like
fine.
sunk cost right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Literally just I wanted to make that like I just wanted to
step.
make that first step. So I definitely have
Yeah,
like more shit that I want to write and I mean a lot. I mean I haven't written anything, but
sure.
a lot of stuff I want to write and to that idea of like having some sort of uh, income stream. I do think we live in a weird time where like writing, because of the leverage of the internet, writing can be profitable as like of one of n income streams. If I mean, obviously, if your writing is good and you gain an audience and you're consistent with it, right? Like it's not just you can just
Sure,
do anything. But I feel confident that I could write well. So um,
sure. And I think you can also like, it doesn't have to be a first order way of making money, right? Like
100%,
selling
like
the blog or ads doesn't. It's just like it's for most people on many sites too. It's just like it is like the beginning of a
networking,
pipeline of
yeah,
exactly, exactly. And like I don't know. I think
opportunities, blah blah
there's
blah.
yeah, yeah. There's people on Twitter who have like, I think he's talking about this like 40,000 followers. Like I wouldn't sell my account for $1 million. Like that's pretty powerful. Like,
Hmm.
and obviously
Yeah.
nowhere near that, but like
Hmm.
it's, I don't know, definitely in the cards. Like,
Facts.
yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, we've talked about it a lot, but now that you think back to it, right after you got your current job and you had some time before you started, you still sort of took a trip solo to Japan.
Mhm.
Um, what now standing 3 years out? What do you think about that trip?
So I thought the trip, like one, I love Japan. Japan is like one of the coolest cultures, honestly, and like I'm extremely happy I made the decision to go. Especially like a year later, like with COVID and everything, like I'm 100% happy I made it. But I don't think I also found out like I didn't really like traveling alone that much, especially in a country where people don't speak the same language. Like
Hmm.
it definitely was a little like isolating, but it was cool. It was like a great experience. I'm happy like I know I don't want to like do that again, or like
Hmm.
it wouldn't be my like preference. But it was cool, and it was like I don't know. There's some sense of empowerment to just like being able to go across the world like by yourself, go to a random city, like I don't know, have like a great time meeting people and like I
Hmm.
don't know, just explore the culture. So
How long was the flight? It must have been brolic, right?
I had a layover. I think it was like there was like it was like double the price to go direct, and like the layover wasn't bad.
Was it in California?
No, it was in Beijing actually.
Oh wow.
So it's still a broad. Actually, like I think I overshot China, Japan and then came back. But it was like it added like a few extra hours, like 2 or 3 extra hours. But it was
Right.
like something. like in the teens, I want to say, or 20 hours, something like that. I
Damn.
think if you go direct, it's like
Did you sleep on the
16.
plane?
I don't remember. I really don't
Yeah,
remember.
facts.
Um, the bad part was on the way back. You had to sign some like crazy form to like leave the airport, and I was like, all right, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Even though I should have and just like sent it for the night. So I like slept in the airport, which is a big L. But
In
I didn't
Beijing?
want to sign this. Yeah, I didn't want to. But there was like I can't remember the form, but it was some crazy ass form.
Like, and it was in English?
I don't even remember. I just remember like they had like multiple people signing forms, and it was just like I was like, this just seems really sus. Like I've never had to sign out to like
Mm-hmm.
leave an airport. So um,
So you were
yeah,
there for like the whole night?
yeah, I literally slept on like a bench or like
Damn.
whatever, like the seats there.
Damn.
Definitely an L, but it was a learning experience. Are you considering doing a solo trip? Is that
Not really. I'm just like, I was talking about this the other day, or like I guess today's Sunday, like Friday night when I was
Mhm.
at Sean's apartment. Like college was a chapter, and then the first like 4 years after college was its own chapter. Like we're in a different chapter right now. I feel like,
Sure?
definitely with the new job starting, but also like really just going to Miami and then like experiencing life there, and then what the whole last year brought. Like I feel like this is like like there was a chapter directly after college, which is like I guess you call early 20s, and now it's like this
Hmm.
chapter, which is like late 20s. And
Sure.
um, I guess for me, you're still 25. Um,
Few days,
for a few more
week.
days, yeah, exactly a week actually.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like pretty like in a good place, pretty empowered to like do shit. And I think I'm gonna start learning Japanese very soon.
Really?
I have a Yeah, dude. Tim Ferriss's book, 4 Hour Chef, it has a whole section on like
Learning language.
advanced, like accelerated language acquisition.
Yeah.
And I want to like put the pedal to the metal and like actually like test learning a language because I
Yeah.
already speak two languages fluently and I want to learn many languages. And I think it's like makes logical sense to maybe do Spanish next, but I just would be more excited by Japanese.
Hmm.
And I think I just want to learn Japanese because I like
Yeah.
grew up watching a ton of anime. Like
Sure.
I love the culture. Well, what I understand of the culture, and yeah, like just I don't know. The idea of like speaking mad languages just sounds so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm learning. I told you. I mean, I took a little break because I was doing that video class, but I actually just was speaking with this tutor I have in who's in Beijing, and like I'm gonna start ramping up Chinese again. I'm like horrible at it, and like uh, this isn't like growth mindset type of thinking, like talking, but like I don't think my brain is like I don't think I have a natural instinct for learning languages
Mm.
well, but Chinese is a lot of fun.
It's Mandarin.
Yeah,
You
so
should
it's
cop
gonna be an
a.
uphill path.
You should cop 4 Hour Chef.
I know, I know, I
I
know.
think it's
I
like
definitely like.
it's
There's
the
definitely
amount of
ways to
time
hack
you're
it.
going to save is like I think
I
it's
know,
just a very
totally.
high. It's very leveraged to like buy that book and read through the language acquisition part because
Yeah,
Tim Ferriss, you know how he Tim Ferriss is shit. He
yeah,
like really 80/20s the fuck out of language acquisition.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's
Uh,
like he's like there's like a power curve to the words you're gonna use, and then
but
like
also how to
hack
learn
easy
like.
movies. Yeah,
But more
I
than
know.
that, he has this whole chart about like it's basically like every you can speak the majority of a language by only learning one grammatical form of speaking with words, which is like infinitives. So in English, we say like to eat, right?
Mhm.
You could say I want to eat, right? And then you could say for like the future, like I will want to eat, and like, and then you could say like, in the past. He has a whole thing about it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's just
There's a
very
way to
like
hack it.
it's very leveraged, and it's like not the
Yeah,
traditional way of speaking a language, but it's like fully functional. It's like a good way to
functional.
get
Yeah,
conversational, and
yeah.
he speaks a dozen languages fluently or
Mhm.
conversationally, I should say.
Really?
So
I didn't know
yeah,
it was that high. I knew he was Japanese and obviously English,
Japanese,
but
Mandarin, English,
Spanish.
Spanish, German, Turkish. I believe
It's a
some
lot.
Russian, a little bit of Arabic. Um, there's a lot, but I know at least Japanese, Mandarin,
Yeah,
English,
whatever. I feel like
Spanish is
once you
fluent.
get over three, it's like okay, like this is a different ball game.
Yeah, and
Once you're over like six, it's like
hmm
ridiculous.
Well, my mom has like that language thing. She like picks up language even still, like without. She isn't like
She knows the New
when
York
I was a
slang.
kid. Like she would like learn languages left and right. Like obviously not incredibly deeply, but conversationally, where like she could talk to people, and she just would like have a natural drive to learn languages. And like when
Sure.
I was a kid, like she spoke Japanese, obviously Urdu, French, English. Um, she like
New York.
became she in New York. She became conversational in Spanish um, for a
I
while.
feel like there's certain ones like once you know French, Italian, or Spanish, like the
Romance languages,
gap
yeah.
between them is
Mhm.
like a lot
Yeah.
simpler.
And my dad
But
also
yeah,
speaks Romanian, Urdu, Punjabi,
nice.
and English. So like, I don't know. I just feel like, stoked to. I
That's
don't
the
know.
only way to survive in Queens. You got to know like
Facts,
9 languages.
but I am worried that like I'm falling into the trap of like wanting to do too much shit at a time because it's like we have the
Yeah,
podcast, we have
I
like
know.
I'm gonna start a blog and like no real idea about how long that's gonna take every week, and then like
Yeah, yeah.
because I want to put out
No, it
quality
definitely
shit
adds up.
also, and then also
Yeah.
like music. Like I just started recording shit like these last 2 weeks, and like
Nice.
that's like a 6 month to a year process of like putting out something, probably even longer honestly because I haven't done it in
Sure.
so long. And then like obviously the new job want to be really good, like learning
Sure.
Scala is like kind of a
Sure.
brolic language, so
Sure. It's all. I also wonder with to that point. I agree. I think there was like when I had that video class, like I definitely was just getting by, and that's debatable. Um, Now I feel like with that class behind me, like I definitely feel like I have some room, but it's definitely not. Yeah, there's definitely a limited amount of time. Um, but I also wonder. I wonder what point we're gonna get to the where like I don't know, like that model used for that project I just did. Like I
hmm.
wonder how long before language isn't as big of a barrier. Like already you can get around using Google Translate. Like obviously it's nowhere near like ideal, but like I could see a world where it's not that far off.
I don't understand what you mean. Can you elaborate?
Like you just have your phone and like it instantly like really accurately translated to
Oh,
like
in real
a
time
certain like
almost.
yeah, like some AI model that just is extremely efficient. I would be surprised if the general population isn't more surprised within the next like 10, 15 years, maybe less. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember with Can Man?
Bro. Canman speaks like 9 languages,
And they
but eight
all
of them
wake
are
you
just
up.
money.
That
Eight of them are money. Yeah.
that shit was too funny.
Yeah.
So in senior year, so at Santa Clara, there were these. I don't know if they were a couple. It seemed like they were a family,
It was like a family. Yeah.
and we think Vietnamese. I think they were Vietnamese,
They
and
were Vietnamese.
they were like collecting cans, and I guess like for money. And one night,
But
Marco,
like when we were talking about collecting cans, I mean, they would have like in a weekend, they probably did a few thousand
a
cans.
few
Like I would not
thousand,
be
yeah,
surprised. Yeah, easily. Like
yeah.
they had literally had a car. They had like a
Hmm.
minivan that they would fill with cans like on probably like a daily basis, at least on the weekends, and then through the
Hmm.
week do pretty well.
Yeah, and their like center of
Headquarters,
operate their
global
headquarters
headquarters.
was our crib. Was like the alley between our house and the house
Yeah,
next to it. They would just keep their shopping cart, and like in the
mad
morning,
shop, bro. They had like an armada, bro. They had
yeah.
like 5 shopping carts.
And we would wake up on fucking Saturdays to them speaking loud Vietnamese, but also like we would
7 a.m.
7 a.m. like Can Man would just be chilling on our fucking porch swing. But
ripping like dollar bows. Like
one night Marco like had the idea like let's try to talk to him. So he pulls out Google Translate and says like, "Hey, what's up?" and like translates to Vietnamese, and they start having a conversation, and then he gives us a fucking ride in his van
yeah,
to the bars,
we went in the Can Man van.
the
I think
Canmobile.
I forget who else it was. We had like
Lizzie, I think.
I know like yeah, we had like one or two other people besides us, and that was legendary.
It's crazy.
I don't remember
Helena,
how
maybe.
we went. Yeah, I don't remember, but I don't know. I don't remember what the gap was between us like just talking and then being like, "Yeah, give us a ride." But
Zero memory.
that was yeah, it's a good memory.
That was wild. I saw Lizzie
Um,
like last weekend at a party.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
She
said,
said she'll be at your
and I saw her
birthday.
like a week. Yeah,
Yeah, full disclosure, I don't own anything orange, and I'm not gonna wear orange.
You gotta sneak
I
something,
literally have nothing orange, bro.
bro. There's like Amazon,
That was a.
$5. I'm sure there's like a
I'm
Hanes
gonna bring
shirt.
this. I'm gonna bring this. That's my orange entry. My fucking hard drive.
Um, I copped an orange shirt today. I had another orange shirt, but this one is I think will be a party pleaser.
You're Ed, bro. Ed.
$5, bro. You can find a shirt easy.
I know I can, but is it? Do I want to? That's the thing.
You gotta. If it was a wig party, you buy a wig. Like, um,
Did you see this tweet from Lex a couple days ago? He said, "I'd try to skip the generic small talk, go deep right away.
yeah, yeah.
Like the world ends in 5 minutes, and the two of us just have that much time together to figure it all out. Try
What are
doing
your
that at a
thoughts on that?
bar, though.
Literally,
You'll meet zero girls if you do
throw a
that
few
shit at a
drinks.
bar. Zero.
You meet the bartender.
Deadass. Like, what would you say? Like, I don't know, but I like the idea of like going deep and not like trying to.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I think um, I think many people have a want for it, but I think it has to be authentic and can't be
Hmm.
like forced. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think there's a way to have those natural conversations.
Hmm. Yeah, I think like I read about Aldous Huxley. He did this thing, and we've like heard this shit, but apparently he really did it. Like every night when he would go out, like he would like open the encyclopedia and like learn something like random and would make it the goal of the night to like bring that topic into conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think just as a general rule, like the more experience you have, then the more shared experience you have with other people, and like the more shit you could talk about.
sure. I think about that often. Actually, I'll look around. So at work, we have this thing that like came out of nowhere, but basically after every like stand-up meeting, we do like a fun fact, and somehow it turned out like I don't know, it just like spiraled into like basically like every time there was like that chance, like I don't know, I would always like think of something and just have like a random fun fact,
Mm.
and like
Not a fun
a few
fact
weeks
about
ago,
you or just random
no,
shit.
no, just any like could
Yeah.
literally be anything.
Hmm.
And like then I was thinking one day, I was like, I was looking around, I was like, do I have a fun fact for like anything I could see in the room? And I was like, for almost everything, I was like, oh, I could think about something, whether it's like the manufacturing process, the material, like the design behind it. It was
Hmm.
pretty cool, like experiment to think about. And I'm sure, like, I don't know, I feel like it's not that hard to do. But I think it's like learning to see the story or like the facts behind something.
Hmm. Yeah, life is deep. It's really been hitting me a lot
Facts.
recently, like how I just feel like there's not a lot of time. Maybe that's
Facts.
just what
But there
that's what
is
this
for,
there is and there isn't, right? It's like if you
yeah,
use it well, there is. If you don't use it well, there's not.
it's all relative. But yeah, I think,
Hmm.
I mean, we're still so young. Like, I mean, who knows? We could both, like, who knows? Like, my plane flying to New York could crash near your building tomorrow, right? Like, who
That
knows?
is.
Like we could both GG tomorrow. But like, I don't know. Probably we have a decent amount of time, and like, I feel like we're pretty conscious of it, and like, I don't know, trying to be proactive with it, which I think is positive.
Facts.
I have something I did the other day that I want to spend like a minute talking on.
Hit me.
So, it was surprise gift, and we went to goat yoga.
So the fucking goats like climb on you and shit.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, yes, that sounds fun. Like, I'm excited to do this. But then, like, we went. Highly, highly recommend.
Do
Like,
they shit on you though?
bro, they shit like raisinets everywhere, like mats and everything. But honestly, you just like knock them off. They
It's like dry shit,
girlfriend,
right?
they yeah, yeah. Girlfriend got a few little trick or
Pellets in her
treats. I
hair.
had on your back while they're climbing on you. No, but you just kind of like it's. Some people, I think one lady got pissed on. I don't remember, but honestly, worth it. Like, so basically, you go. The yoga is kind of pointless, honestly,
You're
but
just chilling with goats.
certain, yeah, and they're like they like breed these like specific type of goats that are like really tiny and they're like really cute. But the thing is that like goats naturally like to climb, so it's just
Hmm.
like hacking it basically. Where like anytime you go into a pose where you like have some sort of platform and you're like slightly elevated versus like
Hmm.
the surrounding area, these goats just go nuts and they just like jump on top of you. And it feels pretty good, honestly. It's like a little massage.
They're cute.
But yeah, mad cute. Like
Damn,
really, and there's like 20 of them running around.
I'm with it. How
Um,
many people were there?
a lot. It was like 95% women, and it was like probably 30 plus people. It was cool. It was one of those things like you see on like Instagram or whatever, but I actually would highly recommend it. And like,
Hmm,
it's definitely like a serotonin dopamine surge for the day for
I'm
sure.
down.
Yeah.
Dope. I'll
And you
try
do
it.
some stretching. So
I don't know if my
in
girlfriend would
Miami,
like that. She might.
I feel like honestly, like
Nah. It was in
it's pretty
Miami,
tough to not like. No, it was in like up here,
Fort
Fort
Myers.
Lauderdale. I mean, Fort Myers. Yeah.
Bro,
It's
it
not like,
seems like this past week was the week to be in Miami.
I
Like
mean,
with
yeah,
the
there was like
Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
conference and like I know so many people that were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so
Did
many
you
people.
watch, I'm sure people from work and like,
Haven't seen any of the talks. Well,
yeah,
there's some good ones.
I watched the Peter Thiel
I
one.
heard the Peter Thiel one was
Um,
weird.
it was pretty intense. There were certain parts I didn't think I was like fully on board, and there are certain parts that seemed like a little strange, but like many parts were very like on point, and I was like, I don't know.
Worth watching?
Only time will tell if it was worth watching.
But in the moment, did you feel like it was worth watching?
I mean, it's a lot of like it's like reading a Ray Kurzweil book. Like it's either
Word.
going to be extremely valuable or like completely batshit crazy. But I think Peter is generally fairly on the positive
Same.
side
Yeah.
of history. But
Yeah.
yeah, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
There's
bet.
apparently a massive bull, but there was no. They didn't give it any Bronco love.
Yeah, no testicles.
None.
But it had robot eyes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, Academy was there. A bunch of people from Gemini were there. So I'm meeting.
Academy was there.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
and
You
then
did
she's
tell me
coming to New
that.
York
Yeah.
on. We're gonna get dinner on Friday. So,
Nice.
um, oh, you're back by then, so you should chill if you
Fuck.
don't have plans. And then
Yeah.
obviously Saturday we're
Remember we
gonna
went to that
chill.
diner? I think we went with Birdman and we went with her. We went to
Yeah,
that diner that's like kind of near
McDougal
me. Yeah.
Street. It was kind of
Yeah.
cap, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was hilarious. Like
Yeah,
that is like quite a random experience you've been.
dude. Yeah, Birdman was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonder how Anton's doing.
Man is always chilling.
Yeah, professional, and he knows way more about American politics than anyone who lives in this country.
Literally. I told you, if you work for the CIA, it's
He
easy.
worked for the fucking CIA. Maybe that's why he's into
Um,
birds. He was fucking. They were really drones
sure. Yeah.
disguised as
What's that thing? There's
birds.
that bird movement. It's like
The pigeon
birds aren't
shit.
real.
Yeah,
Birds aren't real. Yeah.
yeah. People think in New York pigeons are actually like surveillance
Yeah.
devices.
You know, pigeons are actually originally like, well, like obviously messenger pigeons, but then they were trying to train pigeons. They have like apparently incredible eyesight and like moderately intelligent or intelligent enough that they put them in this planes and they would put them in this like glass dome basically and give them this little switch they would teach them to use. And apparently they could like spot survivors in the water. And they were like, yeah, there's like pigeons are apparently like they need way more credit than they're given, even though they're like dirty as hell in the city. But
Flying rats.
yeah,
They taste good though. The
fuck,
New York City halal. Definitely. Let me get some pigeon
literally,
over rice.
literally. Bro, the most sus thing at the halal cart, you got to be fish over rice. Anytime I see that, like, bro, I
Fish?
dead saw fish over
That's a
rice.
thing?
Yeah,
I've
bro, I
never
saw
seen that
this.
before.
Do you know that, like the images on the outside are like
Mhm.
arguably like NFTs, but they're like hilarious. One of them was just literally like generic fish, like an actual like real fish, just like
Mhm.
put on top of a picture of rice. I was like, this is literally like I'm taking $1 off how much I'm paying you because this is like so budget.
Wild. I'm looking for my notepad. That's a good title for the episode.
Fuck,
Halal NFTs.
literally.
Just gonna write that down.
I sent some to the email. I don't have the email open
I
right
have
now.
it. I have it.
Um, there were
Um,
a few things I sent.
let's see. Blubhouse podcast.
I do like the flow of the email. I think the frictionless way of like collecting information is fire.
Yeah, I
Even though I'm
agree.
sure there's better ways. But
Um, so let's see. You sent hacks Y Combinator. Let's open this. Do you remember what this is? News.y
I
Combinator.
don't know.
Let's see. Let's open it. Probably should have had this stuff pre-staged, but
Chill. We're doing it a lot.
And this is more Cody. Would have to like go deep into that. Okay, I mean, there's that Hormozy tweet.
Oh yeah,
Um,
what was it again?
where'd it go?
It was like recent. It was like
We are
today or
slave
yesterday.
to the things we think we should do.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That just like hit hard. I feel like I don't know. For me, it's been like at some point, hopefully soon, like would like to like build a product, launch it, like have some sort of like company. I think would be really cool and interesting experience, and something that I feel like always like eats away at me, and like in some to some extent like feel like a slave to it. And I feel like you've expressed similar things about like music, where it's like this thing that's always like nagging you and always like
What I mean, maybe you're not going to answer, so I won't ask you. But do you have like a leading idea that you think like this is the one I want to execute?
no. And I actually also don't like. I do think the idea is important. I actually think like, and I think it's proven like being in the right market is like the most important thing with a startup. Um, but I actually don't think the idea is that critically important. I think like if you are able to build a good team and you're able to like iterate, I think it almost like your original idea doesn't really matter that much. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm sure there are better ones and worse ones, but from what I've seen, I feel like as long as you can iterate quick and like you have talented people, I feel like I don't know, like with Travis and other things, like I don't know,
You just
multiple
pivot.
companies, like even Slack started as like a gaming company, and they had this like internal tool for chatting, and that it turned out like the chatting app was way better than the game, and then obviously it's like what it got
Hmm.
sold for like $20 billion, and obviously these are like you know case studies and one offs, but
Word.
yeah,
Well,
no leading idea, just building things, and like on a weekly basis, like I don't know what I built this week. I feel like obviously it's like I wouldn't even say really in like I wouldn't say it's an MVP form, but like some version of that and like a few iterations probably could be something that is a tangible like minor business,
product.
like
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, like so
I think you'll come up with something good.
we'll see.
Maybe I
Hope
should
so.
launch my fucking app. Like I've been saying this for so long.
Just do it.
I just needs to do so
CRM.
much. It just needs a lot of work, bro.
Everything does.
Yeah, it's a fact. There's one problem I would want to crack, um, and then I think it would be an extremely good product. And I
Fact.
just don't know how to do it.
What's the problem? Let's see if we can quickly if you want to chat about it.
We'll talk about it off air, like offline,
Okay.
because I don't want to say it and give the idea away.
But
Not that anyone's listening to this, but
what was that tweet?
uh,
It's like for every beer you have, there's like 10 people studying like linear algebra right now. Like
yeah, I mean it's a fact.
but
Um,
Balaji big on Rising India.
yeah, I know. I'm like 40 minutes into the podcast right now.
Yeah. I'm like halfway through.
Hmm. Also, just listening to him talk also just makes me feel like, damn, there isn't any more time. Not sorry, not enough time.
Literally.
You know what idea I had today though? Like,
Mm,
and I wonder if it's viable, but like breaking down learning and time into like the high school model where like you have like 7 classes a day and like you give 45 minutes to each of those class and like
sure.
are you going to become elite at something in that time? Absolutely not. But like, you know, like there's so much shit I want to learn about right now that like I don't know if like I just want to try that model because like I feel like it would be it's unwise to not pay attention like give a lot of attention to everything that's happening in like the web3 space. I just think like there's
Sure.
so much opportunity that's like if you just pay attention to it it's just highly leveraged. But it's
Sure.
also like want to do music, want to do really well at my job and like yes, my job is kind of in web3 so it's like I mean kind of. So it's there's like an avenue there, but it's also like want to learn language, want to fucking travel,
Sure.
explore. It's like dude, there's so much dope shit to do.
I mean, I think the thing is like I don't know if I spoke about this. It's just like there's many things you can do that are like three birds with one stone, right? Like at so an example would be like at work, you have to let's say you had to learn like solidity, and then like for part of learning, like you had to build a side project, and then like you write a blog on the side project, and like you hit like three bases with one,
Hmm.
one for every hour of work done, like you're
Hmm.
actually covering multiple bases. Like I think that's the best when I've found like a great way to like compound things.
Dude, has Wait But Why come out with anything in a while? I feel like it's been a minute
I
since
have
he's
a few. I've read a few things. I think he's dropping a book soon, apparently.
The Big and the Small. You won't believe my morning. He's also like another
I've
reason
read
I
some.
want to
Yeah,
fucking write. Like,
fact. I feel like yeah, his some of his posts are better than many books. Like,
I mean, the Elon series is just
yeah, elite.
like better than like I think if you were gonna like the educational value of like a year of college, depending on what you study, but like versus reading like that thing, like that, I think like you can get like a legitimately super high quality education at this point
Sure,
with 0% going to college. But the value of
sure,
college is like the network and the like social experiences you have, and you do have like professors, and there is a lot
sure.
to be said for like having a like direct relationship in person with a professor. But there's so much quality now, like in
Yeah,
podcasts and books, and like imagine like one
you know,
class was just like read,
wait,
Wait
but
But
why?
Why's
Right.
catalog, and like
Sure,
that's like the whole class, and then you have to write papers based on that and have
sure,
discussions. It's
sure.
like how much shit would you learn?
I think that'd be a cool idea. Is like it'd be
Twitter
cool to
University.
make like a product that like makes tests for content somehow. Like it'd be cool if there was like a distributed education system where like every like post you could like let's say post does well, right? So then like let's say Timur Bain writes this like great post, right? And then after he's like, okay, this is a successful post. Like let me make a small like test or class very simply for this, and then like you could join a platform that like allows you to like take tests and like I don't know get some sort of degree across like learning across like some I don't know. It's
Bro,
extremely unbaked, but I'm sure there's
Blumhouse
something.
University. We could
Sure,
disrupt college, bro.
sure.
I'm not kidding. I think like there
I don't know.
is some potential to like come up with an alternative schooling situation where like it would be like teaching foundational knowledge, like but in a practically minded way. So like you have like a little bit of theory, like make them read fucking Tim Urban. Like required reading would be like it's an interesting topic. Like what are the classics of the internet age? Not
Sure,
necessarily things having to do with the internet, but just like the classics that have been published in the last 30 years. Like
sure, sure. Like a
must read.
Paul Graham essay,
Yeah, because
Elon Musk. Yeah,
it's like in school, like if you take a poli sci class, like how much time are they actually devoting to like modern political scientists? Like, are they reading
sure.
Nassim? Like Nassim has written a bunch. Like a lot of his work has to do with how to like organize society.
Government.
Like, are
Yeah,
they reading Nassim? Like, I think it's important to read all the old shit, like Rousseau and fucking whoever else, people I forgot from poli sci, but like,
sure. There's
how,
some modern takes that we've seen. Like,
yeah. I
I don't know,
mean,
even Balaji probably has like
yeah, dude. Like
could probably
Balaji's
put
book is
together
gonna
some.
drop.
Oh, his book.
Is
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
book's gonna be elite.
wild. It's gonna be wild. I'm
Yeah,
gonna read it in the first weekend. Like I've like it's
but
July 4th weekend, I think, though.
I know
So maybe the
that's a
second
fire.
weekend.
Man's playing chess, bro.
Yeah. But
We're all playing
Balaji's
chess.
book, like all of like, if I was putting together university with like what I know now, and like, look, not anything really in life, but like have been able to, I don't know, feel like I'm on a good trajectory. I think you feel the same way about yourself.
Sure, sure,
Um, Definitely like reading Ray must like principles. I would say
sure.
like
Josh,
Nassim
Tim,
must. Tim,
Tim.
Josh, like who else? Wait, but why? Like Tim Urban. Um,
I don't know. I think Marcus really is, but yeah, there's like a
no,
few. There's
100%.
definitely like
Seneca.
we could definitely say like there's probably 20 books that are 80/20. Like I don't know.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like I don't know. I think it was like the Naval book.
Oh,
Um,
Naval book is a
yeah,
must
easy. I feel like Naval. He's like the information is there. It's the like desire and
to
like
learn.
motivation to learn.
That's
Yeah, and
scarcity.
I mean I think it's just becoming more true as like
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing it's wild on like Twitter. There's like some threads that like what was the one we were talking about or like you sent that like I was like oh I like this one like
Yeah,
it was
the
like
one about
how I grew my
content, like
TikTok. Yeah, yeah, and like that alone is probably worth like someone would pay like whatever $50 for a class to like do that. Like
yeah.
yeah,
No. Dude, there's so many. I mean, like, I'm in a phase now where like I'm having too many fucking ideas. And I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you feel the same way. And it's like
yeah.
how to choose one, like things that I want to do with the podcast, like newsletter, have an actual website for the podcast where we have like show notes for every podcast, like, create content on the side with the podcast, like 2, 3 years from now,
Sure,
do like live talks, live events. Like maybe we start a business with the podcast, like some sort of
sure.
consulting, alternative education. Like there's so much shit. Like
I know.
maybe we use the podcast as like, for the next 6 months we're gonna like go deep on crypto, after that we're gonna go deep on this sector of what's going on, or like maybe you
Sure,
focus on one thing, I focus on another thing, we bring it like to talk about. And like
sure.
we both have blogs now, it's like we can sort of have both of our blogs featured on, like, well, actually you have a blog, I'm starting to put together a blog, and like have both of them featured on our Blubhouse, like Instagram, and
Sure,
like
sure,
just so much shit, bro.
sure.
And like
I think, yeah, it's one of those things like there are so many opportunities, and like I think it really is like got to pick a few and like build the house on them. Otherwise,
mhm.
it's like
No, for sure.
spreading ourselves too thin. But I do think like it'd be an interesting like 1 week episode. It's just like both of us pick a topic we both know nothing about. Like each of us pick a topic that neither of us know about, and we just like do a deep dive, and it's just like explaining what we learned or built or like
Mhm.
whatever. Um, yeah,
Facts. So much shit to do, man. So little time,
facts,
but a lot of
facts.
time too.
Yeah, I think we'll like hit our stride, like find what we're vibing with, what we like, and
Hmm.
like I don't know. I found like I know like personally from the blog, like I've like writing. I'm like okay, like I don't know. I like it, don't like love it that much. Video creating was like awesome, but I just
Hmm.
like building shit, even like whether it's a video or like a project or something like that, has been like so fulfilling and something I've just like I don't know, just like definitely struck some chord. So I don't know. That's like, but only could be achieved really through like doing.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing. Is just like trying things, and then it's like okay, like this is something we like start investing more in it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We're almost at an hour, and I
yeah,
think we're both pretty tired. So maybe we just
yeah,
end with like shit we've enjoyed in the last 2 weeks. You already mentioned your
yeah.
goat thing. Anything else that comes to mind? That things you've enjoyed, consumed, experienced,
Mm,
anything other?
the sun. I know we've talked about this. The sun is a hack. Just being able to get a lot of good, high quality sunlight. Um, just I think an automatic game changer to feeling better. Um, I read a book called What Money Can't Buy that I really
Mm.
liked. It was interesting. It was talking about like the limits of markets, and like many people in a capitalist society view like markets for everything, but it's talking about okay, like where actually are the like fringes of that. Yeah, that I really liked, and yeah, I think I'll check some things I sent, but yeah, what are your
The number one thing is this book series I'm reading. I mean, it's just like I talk about it so much, it's so mind blowing, and I can't believe that I haven't read it so far. Like it's so high quality, and
facts?
yeah, I mean, it just has me thinking about so many different things. Like it's so clever. It's also like deep science. It's like the fiction parts are like very much based on like scientific conjecture.
Mhm.
So I recommend to everyone to read the series, of which the first book is the Three Body Problem. I believe the series itself is called like the Remembrance of Earth's Past or something like that. And right now I'm reading this book. The third one is called Death's End, and it's
Mm,
just so good, and it's like not
facts.
dorky.
Is it like
Like
is each one stand on its own, or you gotta no,
no,
you won't get as much out of it?
no, it doesn't stand on its own. Like they're kind
Gotcha,
of like contained. mm, There is a thread that's very the central thread of the story continues in each book, but like the protagonist in each book is a different character. But the
gotcha,
universe is the same, but it's also like like it's happening linearly through time, and like the events,
gotcha.
like you won't know what the fuck's going on in the second book if you don't read the first book.
Read the verse.
And the
Gotcha,
same thing with the third. Like you won't know what's going on in the third if you don't read the second. Um,
gotcha. What if you read the first and the third?
you could get away with it, but the second is so good. I just wouldn't. The second is
Yeah,
better
wait
than the
for the second half.
first, but the first just sets up like the whole universe. So I would,
Sure.
I would recommend. I I know like you're similar to me in a sense where like you go through like seasons where like you are more down to read fiction and like not down to read fiction. So
Sure.
I wouldn't say like jump the gun, but when you are like feeling some
It's
fiction
a good,
again, I would just bite into it. It's like so
frolic, but
stimulating.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
stimulating.
Mm.
And like you just stay up thinking, like just think about it throughout the day. Like not at all similar to King Killer, but I would say in quality of story, like
In the same ballpark. Yeah.
it's just like I find myself liking it like so much.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Other than that, though, like my girlfriend and I started the series on Disney Plus called Moon Knight, which is Oscar Isaac like Marvel series. Pretty good so far. Only two
Not bad.
episodes out. Been watching that. I know you're not a huge superhero head, but
Yeah. Fine.
then that's really it. That's all that's coming to mind anyway. I've been like doing a lot of
I'd
cold again, and I've been feeling good. After the podcast,
facts.
I'm gonna dip in the plunge and then like
Facts. Hit the hay.
hit the hay.
Yeah. I'd one cool thing that I wanted to share that I looked up. I watched this video of this guy who is a gold miner, but he goes to the streets of New York and he goes to the Diamond District and he like sidewalks have those like big like they have those divots in them and he takes this like tool basically and he like rucks up all the dirt and like shit that's in between these sidewalks.
And he
But he goes to
finds
Diamond
like good
District.
shit.
So he has this like vacuum basically and he like sucks up all this shit that he like pulls out of the streets. He specifically goes to the Diamond District because he's like people will drop stuff. There's like, people like are cutting gold or jewels and like that blows off and eventually like some of that ends up in these like, you know, piles. And in his like first pile, I think he made like $600 and that was just like one sliver. And it was just like mad gold. He found like a few jewels. Like I just thought it was like the coolest thing where it was like
It's
most
very
people,
interesting, like
you
some
think,
shit you'd never think about.
yeah, yeah. Like if someone's gonna, you go to like a river or mine or whatever, you don't go to fucking, six step, whatever the hell it is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just thought it was a cool idea and well executed. So
Facts. All right, man. Well,
cool.
it's at like a little bit over an hour, and I know we're both pretty tired. So
Yeah.
you're back Tuesday, so let's chill maybe before your birthday. But if not, we'll chill on your
But
birthday,
yeah,
and then yeah, we'll do another
facts.
podcast episode this week. We won't. To all of our loyal fans, we will not miss another week.
Sure. Sure.
Um, we're
Facts.
all
We'll
right,
be
man.
back. Much love.
Peace.
Peace.
Much love.
Good night. Good night.